We don't air that intro very often. That's the extended version. It's also available on the director's cut of the upcoming DVD box set of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with a second audio commentary by Malcolm Whitehall. Happy Thursday, 19th day of February 2026. I am Dan Kuntz, your host. We've already blown the 5-star show. That ain't going to happen. We'll shoot for 4. Actually, it's a busy show today. It happens occasionally. We have 5 pounds worth of show and a 4-pound bag to stuff it in, but the bag stretches. We'll make it happen. It is 28 degrees right now. We're not going to get much warmer than that today. Only going to get to 33 with quite a bit of cloud cover. A couple of light snowflakes popping in, popping out. That's about it. Things are going to get pretty active over the weekend. If you have weekend travel plans in the mountain passes, you're going to get some snow. Maybe a lot of it. That's cool. They need it. Nothing really down here. In fact, we're talking rain by the end of the weekend. Forecast details are coming up. Busy day in the newsroom yesterday. We'll prove it by doing the news right after we do the weather forecast. Sports, quite a bit of that. All the results from last night and previewing today's regional district basketball games all over the place. And a certain professional football team that just won the Vince Lombardi Trophy is for sale. You got $7-8 billion hanging around? Want to buy a football team? We'll talk about that. 1 week from today at the local Event Center at the Pybus Public Market is the Wenatchee World's annual CIA Awards. That's an acronym. The Community Impact Awards. There are going to be 5 of them handed out to some pretty cool people, and we did some profiles of those folks who are going to be winning Community Impact Awards. They already know. It's not a surprise. Winner of the Community Connection Award, my good friend Nancy Grette from Alatheia Riding Center. She paid us a visit a couple of weeks ago, sat down with her own Josey Meats. We'll have that conversation with Nancy. Class act indeed. We'll have that in the back half of the program. And it's Thursday. Pause for Pets. Pearl the dog needs to get bailed out of dog jail. Pearl's in jail. Not her fault. We'll have that as well. 2 minutes after the hour, for the first time, as we do the PTZ cameras, for the first time since November 10th, sunrise is before 7 o'clock. Sunrise was at 6:59 this morning. That has not happened since last November 10th. And that was right after we switched over from saving time to standard time. Look at the sun just kissing that. Isn't that really, really cool? That is really neat. I think that's a combination of the sun and also the cross, which is pretty close to where that camera is. Could be a combination of the two because the cross, of course, is very bright indeed. That's why everybody can see it on mornings like today. Good morning to the valley. Good morning to Lake Aniat, sometimes known as the Columbia River, but the Columbia River isn't really much of a river anymore. And of course, it's just a bunch of reservoirs behind dams. Traffic is going pretty good there. You can see the snow line. Had a little bit of snow melt yesterday in the upper elevations, not too much. Spectacular view up Billy Goat Way. Omak here at 22 degrees. In fact, you're the cold spot right now. I understand it's snowing lightly in Omak. It's also windy up there. It's a 30-mile-an-hour wind out of the north up in Omak. We got nothing down here, and we're not as far as wind is concerned. And boy, that camera looked a lot better about 5 minutes ago. That's the jump off ridge camera. I love that camera. It's one of my favorites because it's a spectacular view when the conditions aren't like it is right now. On the center left-hand side of your screen is the Wenatchee Valley. Down there is the Stimmill Basin. So we're going to switch it up. We're going to go back to the Wenatchee Heights camera and look at the sun just peeking through. So it was actually the sun just kissing that little abutment by the Wenatchee Cross camera. That's cool. Nice. Thanks for changing that up, Mac, on the fly. Whenever he has the bolts tightened in his neck, Malcolm does a really good job. Snow today, not much. Very little. Hit and miss in some locations. The darker the blue, the better chance of a little bit more snow, but really no big deal snow-wise. Maybe a little bit of winter driving conditions up in the mountain passes. It's going to be very difficult to go over the mountain passes, quite challenging at times by the time we get to the weekend. From our friends at Colonial Vista Senior Living in Wenatchee, it's where comfort, care, and community come together. 33 is all we're going to get to today. Yesterday we topped off at 42 because we had all that sunshine. It's a beautiful Wednesday. We're going to be about 9 or 10 degrees cooler than that for the afternoon high. It's already 28, but we're not going to get much warmer than that We're going to have clouds in the early part of the evening, and then the clouds will depart. When we get up Friday morning, it'll be clear, which is why we're going to get all the way down to 19 degrees. And the coldest temperature we've had all winter has been 19 degrees, and that was back in, I think, late December. So it's going to be chilly for the overnight low tonight, and then we'll be below normal on Friday with sunshines. Friday is going to be hit and miss. It's going to be sunny on Friday morning, and by the time Friday is done and the sun goes down, it'll be cloudy, and we'll top off at 34 degrees. Thinking maybe precipitation on Saturday originally. Now they say no, we'll just be cloudy and dry. Typical February weather there with a high of 38 degrees. Then things start getting a little bit active. Snow level on Sunday will be 1,800 feet below that rain, above that snow. And we'll top off Sunday at about 40. Snow level on Monday, 3,100 feet. That means rain down here in the valley, and a high of about 43. And then we're going to be warming up to 45 and 46 with a mixture of clouds, sun, and a little bit of precipitation by the early part of next week. We're almost done with February. Wow, what happened there? March is only 9 days away. Going to take a break and come back with your news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCW Life, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
Fibercrete fireproof safety rooms can be the difference between life and death for you and your family. Typical fireproof safety rooms are 8x8 Fibercrete panels providing a solid sanctuary. Fibercrete safety rooms can be above ground, buried underground, or built within new home construction. Best of all, a safety room by Fibercrete is very affordable. Call 360-770-2088. You owe it to your family to find out more about Fibercrete safety rooms.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether. We provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
A kitchen that makes mouths water and jaws drop. A bedroom from a dream with a bath from a spa. A walk-in you'd never want to walk out of. A pool like the fountain of youth. And a view that never gets old. When buying or selling a home of the highest standards, it's comforting to be represented by a real estate company with standards to match. Coldwell Banker Global Luxury. Live well with Coldwell.
Everybody's dealing with some cloud cover. What a beautiful sunrise right now. It's now 29 degrees. We're only going to be about 4 or 5 degrees warmer for the afternoon high. Very chilly tonight with the overnight low in the teens because we'll have clear skies, a gradual warming trend, and then rain and much warmer temperatures by the early part of next week. It's 9 minutes after the hour. A Douglas County Court Commissioner and a Douglas County Deputy Prosecutor have accused the newly appointed County Prosecutor, Sean Lewis, of governmental misconduct after he instructed a deputy prosecutor not to disclose important information about a witness to attorneys handling the case. Lewis oversees the staff of attorneys for Douglas County. Our media partner, the Wenatchee World, reports that Deputy Prosecutor Lori Pruce was not informed by her fellow prosecutor, Stephen Downs, when a witness in a district court case admitted to lying to police. Now, according to Pruce, Downs told her that Lewis had instructed him that it wasn't necessary to share that information, which might have affected a felony case. Lewis was appointed back in July to replace Gordon Edgar, and he denies Pruce's representation of what happened. Douglas County Court Commissioner Steve Clem, himself the former prosecuting attorney for Douglas County, dismissed the case and ruled that the matter amounted to governmental misconduct, writing that, and I'm quoting now, "There is no excuse for intentional non-disclosure," close quote. Lewis has filed, by the way, to run for a full term this year as Douglas County's lead prosecutor. You can read more about the story by going to the Wenatchee World's website. Douglas County has a new sheriff, or will anyway. In just a few more days, effective March 1st, Tyler Kale will step into the role on that date. He's the current undersheriff of Douglas County. Douglas County Commissioners voted on Tuesday to appoint Kale to fill out the term currently being held by Sheriff Kevin Morris, who announced his upcoming retirement a couple of months ago. The interim term runs until the end of the year. Kale, the undersheriff for the last 7 years, has already filed to run in this year's election. He's likely to face, at this time anyway, Chelan County Deputy Adam Musgrove and former Quincy Police Chief Keith Siebert on the ballot in the August primary. The Wenatchee Valley Medical Group is asking Confluence Health to pause its $60 million cancer center construction project so physicians can collaborate on how to address the community's cancer treatment needs. Back in January, Confluence Health announced its plans to build a new cancer center on their campus, the Confluence Health Hospital Central campus. Construction is slated to begin in November. The medical group says physicians were not included in the initial planning of the project, and its members want to take another look on how the money is going to be spent. The concerns over the cancer center comes as the affiliation between the medical group and Confluence Health is due to expire at the end of next year. Physician leaders say they want that affiliation to continue. Confluence Health said in a statement that site selection for the cancer center and planning have included physician involvement, but did not comment on the medical group's other concerns. City of Wenatchee has officially launched its new utility billing payment website. The city first announced the transition last month, and online bill payment was temporarily unavailable during the first part of this month. The upgrade is meant to improve the user experience and provide flexible account management tools. Customers can now create their login, add their utility account, and make a secure bill payment. For help setting up an account, a short explainer video can be found on the City of Wenatchee's YouTube channel. The City of Cashmere, Chelan County, and the Chelan-Douglas Regional Port Authority are joining forces to dig out the boat ramp that allows access to and from the Wenatchee River from Riverside Center in Cashmere. December's floods deposited a large amount of stones on the side channel of the boat ramp, which effectively makes the ramp inaccessible for watercraft trying to get in and get out of the Wenatchee River. It's a major access point for rafting and tubing companies, but digging out the excess rock requires special permits. The port, the city, and the county will put up a total of about $55,000 to pay for the removal work, which has to be done prior to the spring runoff season. Chelan County Commissioners agreed this week to put up $30,000 towards the project, that money coming out of the county's lodging tax funds. And the America Performing Arts Center is 25 years old, and to mark the anniversary, North 40 Productions has put together a documentary film called Precious Little Theater. It looks behind the scenes at some of the creators who's brought their work to the stage at the PAC. The film was a year in the making, and it debuts tonight at the PAC at 7 o'clock. Few tickets are still available, and it's worth it. Trust me. North 40 co-producers Jeff Austinson and Colleen Fry spoke with us about the project.
Originally, what our intent was to create a film that shared the impact of having a theater like this in your community. And then I started to talk to some of the folks who've been around 25 years ago, 30 years ago when they were building it. And I did get a little pressure to create a film about the history of the PAC and how it was built. And so we actually decided to make two films. So we are making two films. We have the first film is called Miracle on the Avenue, which is a kind of a nod to Wilfred Woods, who wrote an essay about how the PAC was built. And that really is a historical kind of Ken Burns style approach of just, this is how it happened. This is what these people did. They volunteered their time. They overcame obstacles, and they worked very hard for a long time to raise the money to build this precious little theater. So we tell that story in about 15 minutes, and then we have another film called Precious Little Theater, and it's about 40 minutes long. And what it does is it really shares the impact of having a theater on your community. And it's it certainly is specific to Wenatchee and to our American Performing Arts Center, but it's more about if you had a theater like this is what you might expect could happen in your community as well.
Yeah, I would definitely say that although they are two separate films with the more historical anniversary piece and then the precious little theater piece that goes into the future, both pieces showcase our community. They showcase how our community comes together to really make something happen. And then as a result of investing in ourselves and what we have here, our community creates connections. We have experiences that are incredible and heartfelt and just turn us into really great neighbors and friends and people who continue to thrive as a result. And so it's kind of fun to see that while they're distinct films, they do still just highlight how amazing our community is because we have this sort of activity that exists here.
If you want to make a film about something like the Performing Arts Center, and you need a year to do it because there are so few opportunities, and you can't just show up in 1 month and say, oh, we're going to film this month and it's going to be done. So we filmed with the symphony last February, so a year ago, and we filmed with the musical in the Apple Blossom musical in the spring. We filmed with Hot August Nights in the summertime. So we were able to kind of schedule this out over a year to make sure we caught all the different things we needed to film. So it's really hard, especially a musical, to put a camera out there on stage while the folks are acting, because it's very distracting for not only the actors but for the people watching. We chose dress rehearsals. So we went out there and we filmed mostly dress rehearsals because they're in costume, they're doing the thing, but they're certainly going to be okay with us, moving around a camera as they're doing it because there's no audience. And yes, it was distracting. Some people were giving us some odd looks as we were out there with the camera, but it was a much better time. Especially with the symphony, for example. I mean, we got cameras right under Nick as he was conducting, and we wouldn't have been able to do that necessarily when they were actually performing.
Right.
So we chose, that's what we chose. We did rehearsals, we did the dress rehearsal, and then we would get some filming accomplished during the actual performances, but much more out to the side and out in the audience perspective.
That's why I keep coming back to the power of just performance and the power of our community, because every interview really shows how someone's been touched by being on our stage and sharing of themselves because of our New America Performing Arts Center.
I think one of the big reasons we wanted to make the historical film was to inspire people to dream big and to dare to do great things and to build things like the New America PAC. And the people in our community back in the early 90s decided to do that, and we all benefit from that, and that's an amazing thing.
One of the things that we're really hoping is a result of this film is that it is something the New America PAC and our community can use to continue promoting arts in our community. That is this launching pad for us to maintain that support and connection. And that exists whether you're a season ticket holder at the New America PAC or if you just come to the shows that you feel truly connected to, but just continuing to support and be a part of that, because it is exposure, it's new experiences, it gives people the opportunity to see something and feel something maybe they haven't otherwise done before. And so that's one of our key hopes, that this film really just reinforces that network.
Again, 7 o'clock tonight at the New America Performing Arts Center. Makes sense to me. That is the news on this Thursday morning. They'll be gathering again in the bullpen, doing what they do so well, which is figuring out what's going on around here. And then the news comes your way at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock tonight, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. The NCAA Life Evening News on traditional television airing times or on YouTube. Right around 5 o'clock, we stream at our website. We're on Roku, we're on Apple TV, we're on the Amazon Fire thingamajigger. All of this whole technology thing is somewhat scary to me. I play records at home. What do I know? Have a news tip? Send us an email. news@ncwlife.com. Sports is next. You're watching Wake Up in Nancy Valley on the NCW Life channel.
I'm Jen Mueller. Watch for my show, I Cook, You Measure on NCW Life. It's part cooking instruction, part entertainment, and all about connecting over food and wine with your favorite Northwest athletes.
Watch I Cook, You Measure with Jen Mueller Mondays at 1, Wednesdays at 2, Fridays at 11 a.m., and Saturday and Sundays at 10:30 p.m. right here on the NCW Life channel.
Hi, I'm Amanda Walden with A. Walden Insurance Group. Medicare can be overwhelming, but you don't have to figure it out alone. I've been helping people understand their Medicare options for over a decade. Medicare isn't a one-size-fits-all. I'll help you understand your coverage options so you can feel confident in your decisions. Let's find the right Medicare plan for you. Call me today or come and see me at my office located on South Chelan Avenue in Wenatchee between the YMCA and the Social Security office. I look forward to meeting you soon.
For over 35 years, the Sangster family has been not only representing GMC, but the entire community.
As one of the few family-owned dealerships in Washington, you can count on our personal integrity, which has spanned over 3 generations, to ensure your satisfaction.
Sangster Motors stands behind everything we sell, from GMC professional-grade products and service from a professional-grade dealership.
Remember, caring about your family is what brings you back to ours.
Hi folks, welcome to Save Mart. How can we help you today?
We're looking for a recliner.
Okay, right this way. Go ahead and move this chase on the other side. We can lift this up.
Great, I want that one. I would like that one.
That's a great choice.
And I want this one as well.
Okay.
And I definitely want this one.
Ooh. You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
22 minutes after the hour, NFL teams rarely sell. I mean, they're cash cows, and well, 29 years after buying the team and about 8.5 years after he passed away, it's official, the Seattle Seahawks are up for sale. This is not a surprise, as you might imagine. The Seahawks have been held in trust since the death of Paul Allen. That was in October of 2018. His sister, Jody, has been the executor, and it was specified in the trust that all of Paul Allen's sports properties, not only the Seahawks, but the Portland Trail Blazers, be sold, with the money going to philanthropic enterprises and charities, and that process has begun. They've hired a law firm. They've hired an investment firm. The last NFL franchise to change ownership was the Washington Commanders, and they sold for just over $6 billion 3 years ago, and because it is in a trust, Jody Allen is legally required to sell the team to the highest bidder. Go get them, Seahawks. Men's college basketball. Last night, the Gonzaga Bulldogs have not lost to San Francisco in about 13-14 years. That continued again last night in the city by the Bay. Zags over the Dons, 80-59. Cougars had no problems. They rolled over Pacific and Pullman. The final there was 87-70. There's 2 women's college basketball games of note today. If you want to check them out on ESPN Plus at 6 o'clock, you can watch Gonzaga host Washington State, and the Washington women will be at Pauley Pavilion in Los Angeles at 7 o'clock tonight on the Big Ten Network. All right, high school basketball. The big schools, the 4A schools, the District 5 tournament is now underway officially. Eastmont will take on West Valley at West Valley at 5 o'clock tonight. In a loser-out game, Eisenhower will take on Davis at 6 o'clock tonight for the championship. If Eastmont wins, they still have a chance of making it to state. And the boys District 5 4A tournament, Davis will be at Sunnyside in a loser-out game, and Moses Lake will take on West Valley for the championship in West Valley later on tonight. In the boys District 1A tournament, Wapato and Chelan play each other. Both teams will automatically move on to the weekend crossover games. This is a seeding game. Why they bother, I honestly don't know. That'll be at 6 o'clock tonight at Chelan High School. Results from last night. In the 1B Boys District Tournament, Garden City Academy and Waterville Mansfield saw their seasons come to an end. Antioch eliminated Garden City Academy by 4. Wilson Creek, it says 48-48. Wilson Creek beat Waterville Mansfield 58-48. That, in this business, is what we call a typo. It's wrestling time at the Tacoma Dome. Matt Classic XXXVII. Seriously, people, the Roman numerals. I mean, come on, enough. It's Matt Classic 37. The girls and the boys' big schools, the 3A and the 4A, they start today. The small schools, they don't start until tomorrow. Eastmont girls have a couple of wrestlers. Alana Dickinson will be wrestling into the 115-pound weight category, and Gracie Peterson for Eastmont at the 140-pound weight category. Stephanie Salgado will represent Wenatchee High School in the 155-pound weight category. Moses Lake has 14 female wrestlers in 12 different weight classes. I didn't have time to write them all down. That's the girls. The boys, big contingent from both Eastmont and Moses Lake. Eastmont will have 9 wrestlers at the Tacoma Dome starting this morning in 7 different weight classes. Wenatchee has 4 wrestlers looking to get medals in 3 different weight classes. Moses Lake, not surprisingly, 11 wrestlers in 10 weight classes. Again, the big schools today, the small schools start tomorrow. And those are just some of the games that people are playing at this on this 19th day of February. It's International Tug of War Day. By the way, tug of war is only 3. What does tug of war, swimming the backstroke, and rowing? What do those 3 sports have in common? Tug of war, swimming the backstroke, and rowing. Those are the 3 sports that you compete by going backwards. Anyway, it's National Tug of War Day today. National Chocolate Mint Day. We're not doing any of these today. It's all about the eyelash. Today is National Eyelash Day today. And babies are growing eyelashes in the womb. They start growing eyelashes before they're even born. Only mammals have eyelashes. We're the only ones. They serve a purpose, as you might imagine. They protect your eyes from dirt and germs and foreign objects. Eyelashes are 97% keratin and 3% water. People have been styling eyelashes for 4,000 years. But don't use those eyelash curlers. They're like really bad on your eyelashes, I'm told. Tiny mites live in your eyelashes. They're called Demodex, and they help keep your lashes clean. If you want really good, healthy lashes, eat salmon, eggs, almonds, walnuts, beans, and avocados. They're very good for your eyelashes. Eyelashes fall out and are replenished about every 150 days. And eyelashes have a tendency to get thinner as you get older. My eyelashes are normal. It's my eyebrows that my signature anyway. So if you have eyelashes, and I'm assuming you do, happy Eyelash Day today to you. That's why all the banks are closed. Today in history, thank you, Thomas Edison. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Patent number 200521 was registered on this date, February 19th, 1878, by that guy, Thomas Alva Edison, who invented the phonograph. Thank you, Thomas Edison, the first device that could record and then play back what you recorded. I think I have one of those that you see on your screen at my home. I wouldn't be surprised. So the phonograph record player is 148 years old today. Thank you, Thomas Edison. I know you had a reputation of being a bit of a jerk, but I don't care. You've given me untold years of pleasure, Tom. Well, the music does, but you got to play it on something. The United States stared right into the abyss of racism and said, yeah, we're going to go ahead and be racist anyway. Just a few weeks after Pearl Harbor was attacked, FDR signs Executive Order 9066 on this date of 1942, which allowed the United States military, to relocate Americans of Japanese descent to internment camps. They didn't do this to the Italians and the Germans, just the Japanese. On the West Coast, it's now known as the Day of Remembrance. In fact, the first state to celebrate Day of Remembrance was this state back in 1978. About 70,000 Japanese, almost all of them born in America, American citizens, were sent to camps. And it's not one of our better days As a matter of fact, first-generation American-born Japanese consider themselves loyal to the United States. And in all the years during World War II, when the Japanese, both native Japanese and Americans of Japanese descent, were interned in their camps, not one single Japanese American was ever found guilty of sabotage or espionage. That was on this date in 1942, and exactly 50 years later, or 37 years later, 50 years ago today, 37 years after FDR said, lock them up, Gerald Ford said, oops. It was kind of a formal apology. Gerald Ford signed Executive Order 4417, rescinding Executive Order 9066. Eventually, the Congress voted to give those who were interned a little bit of money. Again, not one of America's better deals. The Washington Capitals joined the National Hockey League as an expansion team in 1974. And for 34 consecutive games, they played the Montreal Canadiens. And for the first 34 games that they played the Canadiens, they lost. And finally, at the Capitol Center in Washington, D.C. on this date in 1980, they finally won. After losing 34 times in a row, every time they'd ever played the Canadiens, the Capitals beat the Habs 3-1 to end that streak. It's 31 minutes after the hour. Today in history. This was you would call Nicholas Copernicus a Renaissance man. He was a lawyer, a mathematician, an astronomer, a physician, a politician, a translator. He was a teacher, an economist, a diplomat. The theory before Nicholas Copernicus was always there, the idea that the sun is the center of the universe and not the earth. But Nicholas Copernicus, of course, was the man who actually proved that the sun was the center of the universe and not the earth. He paid a pretty stiff price for that. He was born in the state in 1473. The great Lee Marvin watched The Dirty Dozen not long ago, about a month and a half ago. Lee Marvin got an Academy Award for Cat Ballou. Don't watch Paint Your Wagon. Turns out that Lee Marvin and Clint Eastwood can't sing. He served this country with distinction as a United States Marine during World War II in the Pacific Theater. The Wild One, the man who shot Liberty Valance, he was Liberty Valance. Paint Your Wagon. Lee Marvin, born 102 years ago today. Dave Niehaus, break out the mustard and the rye bread, Grandma. It's grand salami time. Dave Niehaus, the long-standing voice of the Mariners. He broadcast 5,284 of 5,385 Mariner games. And the winner of the Ford Frick Award, the great Dave Niehaus, born in the state in 1935. He would have been 91 years old today. And Bob Dylan called Smokey Robinson America's greatest poet. And I think Bob might be right. The legendary Rock and Roll Hall of Famer. His music is never far from my turntable. Smokey Robinson is 87 years old today. Play the music, folks. You'll be glad you did. For Heat and Air, call Alpine Air. For Heat and Air, call Alpine Air, and you'll be glad to call them if, by whatever reason, your unit's on the fritz. Doesn't even have to be a brand that Alpine Air carries. They'll come out and take a look at it because they're the best that there is. For Heat and Air, call Alpine Air. Mike Bonatti's got an opinion about old friends. Nancy Grette and the folks at the Alatheia Riding Center is going to get some really nice hardware 1 week from tonight with the Wenatchee World's Community Impact Awards. That conversation with Josey Meats and Nancy is coming up. But first things first, Pearl the dog is in dog jail. Not her fault. It's Paws for Pets.
Hi, I'm Corley with Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, shelter manager, and today I want to introduce you to Pearl. Pearl is our 5-year-old pitty mix, and she's a beautiful girl. We got Pearl as an owner surrender about 3 weeks ago. They brought her to us because they're going through some medical things and were unfortunately unable to continue caring for her, but we're trying to find her the best home here. She's such a good girl. Pearl is just so full of life and love and happiness. She knows all her tricks too. And when she's sitting, she can barely contain herself. She's prancing the whole time. It's adorable. Yeah, She knows a lot of things, actually. She's great at sit, she's good at stay, which is shocking to me because she's just so excited with everything in life. So she's able to keep herself still for a little period of time. Yeah. She loves walks and she loves toys. She loves to fetch. Very food motivated. It's probably why she learned so many good tricks. She's kind of a big girl and she's on a diet right now. We don't body shame here, but she's getting minimal snacks. She's about 85 pounds, and but she is just full of love, and we just really want to find her a good home. She's a volunteer favorite here because they love throwing the ball for her and walking her around the property. We don't know how she does with cats because her previous home didn't have any. With other dogs here, she can be a little selective. She prefers people over dogs, but she can coexist pretty good. She can be a lot of dog, so I don't know, she might be polite around small kids. Hard to say. We always encourage meet and greets with the whole family, including other dogs if you have them. But she is still learning to be a little polite because she can be jumpy. I just want to make sure you guys know that. But like I said, she responds great to treats and direction. So yeah, I think she'd be a great addition to any family. If you'd like to come down and meet our Pearl, we are open Thursday through Tuesday from 12:30 to 6. And in the month of March, we are also going to be open on Wednesdays, which we're so excited about. Yeah, so come and meet our Pearl.
Give them a call at 509-662-9577 or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org. NCW Life Channel is your local TV station. We believe in being the spotlight and mirror to the communities we serve in North Central Washington. Programming on NCW Life would not be possible without our sponsors. Special thanks to our platinum sponsor, Alpine Air. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air.
You build more than projects. You build what communities rely on. When the job site runs on results, put Kubota to work. Backed by expert service and support from your local Kubota dealer. Right now, bring home select Kubota KX series with 0% financing available or save up to $4,800.
Mad Dog McNaughty, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. Now, a client once asked me how to work on their self-esteem without relying on platitudes such as, I am somebody, etc. I said that one of the ways to look at your self-esteem is to assess my value and consider how I'm seen and valued by others. Now, I may often feel like I'm letting people down, letting some of the people who are closest to me down, but when in fact, these folks see me as someone who's very important to them. Now, for example, I have 3 good close friends I've had since high school who are intelligent, well-read, interesting guys. And I sometimes wonder, why the heck are they friends with me? Though, if you ask them, though, they'd probably tell you that I'm one of the few people in their lives they can count on 100% of the time. Someone whose friendship is a real blessing to their lives. Now, I may not always feel that way, but hey, like I said, these are intelligent men, so hey, who am I to argue with them? This is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and that's my opinion.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCW Life, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
Welcome to Mountain Chick Floral, your go-to flower and plant shop in downtown Wenatchee. Explore their wide variety of unusual and fun plants. And when you buy a plant in a container, they'll pot it up for you absolutely free. Birthday or weddings, they'll create the perfect floral arrangement for you. Brighten up your office with fresh blooms delivered to your door or business. Ask about floral subscriptions. Visit Mountain Chick Floral today, where every occasion is a reason to celebrate with flowers.
You trust the same doctor for your health and the same dentist for your smile. Trust Global Car Care to keep your vehicle running strong. We track your car's history so it gets the right care at the right time. With our 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty on parts and labor, you'll drive away with confidence. Global Car Care, your automotive experts. We service all makes and models, but specialize in Sprinter vans, Mercedes, Audi, Volkswagen, and BMW. Call or visit us today.
News, weather, and sports. It's all here weekdays at 5, 6, and 10 on your local news source, the NCW Life Channel.
I'm Josey Meats with the Wenatchee World. Joining me today is the 2026 Community Impact Award recipient, Nancy Grette with the Alatheia Riding Center. Nancy, how are you today?
Great, thanks for having me.
So do you want to just tell me a little bit about your journey with Alatheia and just kind of like how it came to be?
Yeah, sure. So it's been 15 years now since we started Alatheia Riding Center. And when we started, I had a calling that I needed to do something with some horses that we had and something meaningful and that would change lives. And we ended up having a young lady come out and ride a horse one day, and she happened to have a disability. And as soon as we saw that young lady on a horse, we knew that that was what we wanted to do, which was provide services for people like her that often were isolated and didn't have the same opportunities that other people in the community had. And so Alatheia Riding Center came to be. And it started 15 years ago with 12 riders, 3 horses, and 1 person. And then over time, as the benefits became known, then it grew until today we're at about 100 participants every week and 150 volunteers and 15 horses, and we have 3 different programs now.
Awesome. When you were first starting it out with that one rider, what were your hopes and what were your fears about kind of exploring this territory?
The hopes were that we could really make a difference in the lives of people, and that we could show that this was an alternative type of therapy that would really work. The fear was that nobody would come, or that it wouldn't be successful. But very quickly that changed, and we knew that this was something that worked and that the community supported. And so we were very excited about the prospects of what could happen.
With the number of lives that Alatheia has touched, how do you measure that impact beyond just like numbers of people?
The stories that we hear people tell, the stories that parents and caregivers give us about how the impact of what they're receiving at Alatheia impacts entire lives. Some people we've heard that could never, say, ride a bike or catch a ball, which are everyday activities that people like to engage in, that children or participants would go home and be able to transfer and be able to do those things on their own.
Mm-hmm. So, this is a little difficult, or it could be a little difficult, but could you pluck out one instance, one story that was a moment where you went, yeah, my work matters?
Yeah, there's a lot. One of the most significant was a young boy, probably maybe 8 years old at the time, that was nonverbal. He had an intellectual disability, and we sang a lot. He's a very musical young man, and he hums, but he doesn't sing. And so we were singing with words. And one time when we were out on the trail, we have a trail so that we're not just in a building doing circles, but we take people out on a trail for an outdoor experience. And we were just riding along, and all of a sudden, instead of humming, he sang the words, "Twinkle, twinkle, little star." And it was the first time any words had come out, and we don't know if it was a fluke or whether it was something that was going to continue. But there's always volunteers that work, so there was 3 of us around the horse, and we all looked at each other and, did you hear that? Did you hear that? And it was very exciting to have that happen, but we all agreed, yes, that's exactly what happened. And so that's one of many stories.
Awesome. I feel like this next question, it's kind of paired with the previous question, and I feel like you've kind of answered it just there, but what motivates you to keep doing this work?
Every day you see things like that. The stories that I hear from the families, the impact that it makes on the volunteers who work with the individuals that come to Alatheia, the staff, just seeing changes that occur in everyone who's involved in the program motivates me. Seeing confidence, seeing empowerment, seeing purpose, seeing belonging, and seeing community, it all keeps me motivated. Mm-hmm. And I think I would say anyone who's involved keeps them motivated as well.
You have a reputation for noticing who's being left out. How do you recognize the gaps in services or connection?
How do I notice the gaps? It's just something that I think is in the heart when you look at an individual and you see potential, you see lack of opportunity, and it's just, it's an irresistible call to change or help that.
What inspired the creation of the Ranch Hands program, and why is it important to support riders after high school?
When we realized that some of the participants, young people who went through the program that were in school, and then they have the transition program that takes them until they're 21, and we realized that at that point, at the age of 21, and they're no longer able to participate in school activities, there's very little opportunities for them to be involved in the community. There is not a lot of opportunity for training and work skills and life skills. And so we decided that we wanted to change that and create the Ranch Hands program, which provides those individuals with an opportunity to have a community. They come out sometimes 2 times a week for 3 hours a day. There's several of them at a time. They develop relationships. They are learning work skills. They're learning social skills. They're doing things together outside of their time at Alatheia. We take them to community inclusion events. They connect with each other a lot in a variety of ways. And so we wanted to provide that opportunity that would create that for them.
Mm-hmm. Another program that you've created is the Warriors and Horses program out of the concern for veterans' mental health and emotional health. What have you learned from working with veterans and first responders?
I've learned more about the isolation that they have, the hesitancy to become involved in programs. It's hard for them to leave home, and if we can provide a space that feels safe for them, that they can come to, and then it puts them into a position where they're ready to accept the help that the horses can give, and that really there's more support than I realized for veterans through the WDVA, and then locally there's the Staff Sergeant Fox Suicide Prevention Grant Program that is working very hard to connect with veterans. So I guess what I've learned is that all of us need to work together to provide support for them, and this particular kind of work isn't for everyone, the therapy with the horses, but it has significant results for many that come through the program.
How do you think these programs reflect your belief that no one should navigate hardship alone?
I guess I would say because these programs have opened the eyes of many people, staff, donors, volunteers. I think all have come and seen what happens when we can come together and provide opportunities. And so I think being able to provide opportunities so they don't have to navigate things alone is demonstrated by that.
How has this journey changed you personally?
This journey has opened up so many doors to friendships, to understanding the incredible community that we live in. And I think I have a much greater appreciation for people and for the individuals who become part of the program as participants. I think I just have a greater understanding and love for all of that.
As Alatheia continues to grow, what are 3 aspects that you hope never change?
Our culture. Our culture is number one, and it permeates through everyone who is on staff, all of the volunteers. The culture is warm and inviting and encourages belonging for all. So culture is number one. Number 2, I don't ever want to become a machine that is just cranking out services and work. I want to maintain the individual personalities of everyone involved. And 3, what do I want to change? My immediate instinct was the horses that we use and the way that we care for our horses, and the fact that we really believe that horses need to be given an opportunity to be horses, which means they're able to live in a herd situation, they're able to go out into pastures and move around freely. So those are the 3 immediately that I thought of.
As Alatheia continues to grow, what is your vision for the future?
My vision for the future is that this organization will be sustainable for future generations. What we knew when we started it is that we were a little older, and we knew that we would not be able to continue this work for 30 or 40 years. So we need to be able to find a team that can carry it beyond us and to make it continue to be what it is today, like I said, for future generations.
And this award, the Community Connection Award, recognizes community building above all else. What does community connection mean to you personally?
It means that everyone has a connection of some sort to something bigger than themselves, valuable, and that brings purpose to their lives, and that everyone has a place in the program or in the organization, or actually connection in the community.
So for community members who are searching for hope or connection, what would you want them to know?
I would want them to know that there's a place for them at Alatheia. And we want them to come, we want them to be a part of it, and we want them to experience what we call the Alatheia Way. The Alatheia Way is that everyone has potential, everyone has a place, everyone deserves an opportunity to find purpose and to find that community.
And finally, when you hear the words Community Connection Award, what do you hope people understand about the work being done?
I guess that community is important. People need community to thrive. And that's what that means to me, is that the Community Impact Award means that somehow we have found a way to give that to people, to give them the opportunity to be connected and be a part of something.
Is there anything that you'd like to add or talk about or bring up or announce? I don't know.
No, I don't think so. Just that, you know, they can find out more information at AlatheiaRidingCenter.com. We've got a new facility that we're building, which is super exciting, and it's going to double our capacity and eliminate our wait list and be able to, and allow us the opportunity to grow our programs. And we'd love people to come visit. Our doors are open. Volunteer. Come be a part of it.
Thank you for joining me today, Nancy.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. I've enjoyed the time.
Definitely. I'm Josey Meats with the Wenatchee World. Thanks for watching.
Whether you're a new homeowner or looking to update, Save Mart in Wenatchee has everything you need. From top-of-the-line appliances to comfy mattresses and stunning furniture that fits your style, they have it all under one roof. With great deals and expert customer service, you'll find the perfect pieces for your space and your budget. Save Mart, your local destination for quality appliances, mattresses, and furniture at prices you'll love.
It's time for BC Outdoor Sport Fishing TV, Season 16, with your host, Mike Mitchell.
Back down to 28 degrees. We started at 28, kicked up to 29, went back down to 28. Almost everybody is at 28 degrees. Ellensburg's at 28, Moses Lake's at 28, Freida's at 28 degrees. We got 28s all over the darn place. It ain't going to be much warmer than that, and no sunshine today. We had a beautiful day yesterday, got up to 42. Ain't going to be the case today. 33 is our forecast afternoon high from the National Weather Service. And look at the overnight low tonight. When you go to bed tonight, it'll probably be fairly cloudy, but when you get up on Friday morning, it'll be clear. We're going to get all the way down to 19. Now, the coldest temperature we've seen all winter has only been 18 degrees. It has been an abnormally warm winter, but the last few days, the last week or so, has been a little cooler than normal. That'll be the case on Friday. Friday was hit and miss. Lots of sunshine Friday morning, lots of clouds Friday afternoon, and a high of 34. No snow in the forecast there. And then we'll get warm and talking about rain by the weekend. And we will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.